Sorry, I mean that was working. Should I wear gloves too? Should
Oh, we got a regular Dexter Loomis over here.
should I wear gloves? I'm starting to feel like the Undertaker from the 90s.
Yeah. You look like you're definitely now going to be murdering someone at some sort.
Yeah, I don't want to be the Undertaker.
Yeah, you're definitely a murderer of some sort.
Oh my god.
Remains to be seen on the murdering.
I was born for greatness.
Oh my god, yeah. There we go. Streaming. Let's get the tweet out.
I did see the men's award though, because I was not expecting them to all like start shooting up, and I was like, get away.
That's fine. I think it's fairly obvious.
Well, it was my top three, just not in the same order.
That's true.
Which is unacceptable, but whatever. You wanna break me down. You better not be live when I'm doing that.
We are streaming.
Oh, come on, man. I gotta retweet this then.
And awards.
There it is.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I'm real fancy about it. Okay, you ready? You ready to do this for reals? Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, to Ring Post Radio. It's time for the Countout Network 2021 Year-End Awards. Woo. We're here, Scotty. We're here. It's the Year-End Awards. What a year 2021 has been, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The greatest podcast in space and time started. Also, Ring Post Radio.
Yep. Grapsody was a really good show.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But we also started. And, I'm happy that we get to talk about the awards on our show. Like you said, it was a great year. Wrestling in 2021 was a great year.
Yes. The first year that feels like wrestling is back.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get to the award of, best budget cut. And I mean, we don't have that award. I was kidding.
We have plenty of nominees.
Anyways, Ryan, get us back on track.
Yes, we are here for the awards. We're celebrating the year of 2021. The ups, mostly the ups. There were some downs, and obviously it wasn't a great year for everybody, but it was a great year for some, and we're going to celebrate those that it was a great year for. I'm your host, Ryan Neitzey. With me, as always, celebrating the year of 2021 is Scotty Edwards. Scotty, we are we are doing the Count Out 2021 Year-End Awards. Of course, we got 9 categories here today for you all as well. What a
I'm
gonna
be angry. I'm gonna be angry. Oh, I can't wait.
I should probably turn that.
We're going 3, 2, 1, right?
Yeah. I got.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got 3. We got third place winners. We got second place winners, and we got first place winners.
It would be a letdown if you started with 1, because then I'd be like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, we got to ramp up into it, of course.
Yeah. I got a tie for those who are listening. I have a tie. Ryan has a suit coat, blazer, as they like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're here for the occasion. Hopefully the listeners are also dressed for such an occasion.
They should be. It's required. It is required dress.
Even though if they're hearing this part, they probably didn't know until now, but it's okay.
Pause the podcast, go grab a suit, put it on. Better yet, a tux, and put it on. And get those cufflinks.
Or you can just do what I do and put a tie on.
That's true. That's true.
It's
For
serviceable.
yourself. It's also a great event because it's also Ring Post Radio nights. So
Yes.
to celebrate Ring Post Radio nights,
Here.
we are allowed to drink during the episode, and you are as well.
Well, I mean, we're allowed to drink during the 9 o'clock in the morning recording. It just wouldn't be the best.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of the best, let's get to the year-end awards for 2021.
Yes. Oh, we're also discussing the match race because someone had to win and someone had to lose and someone's going to pay up
to charity.
Yes, to charity.
You made it sound more like someone's gonna pay to charity.
Isn't that Undertaker's old song? You're gonna pay. Yeah, nailed it. That was one of them.
Sure.
Now I feel like I need to find it, but
I have no idea what you're talking about. Please, if you can find it, I would appreciate it.
Okay, give me a second. You take the show.
Yeah, let me preview the how we did it. So basically, we kind of talked about this and previewed it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, sorry.
What is that? What was it? Are you playing Lego, like some sort of Lego game over there? Can you pull it closer to the microphone? Oh, this one. Yeah. It's so bad quality. It's so bad quality.
Well, I was playing a song through my phone, through a microphone. I didn't expect it to come out. Never mind.
Anyways, Ring Post Radio Count Out Year-End Awards. Basically, if you didn't hear the podcast 2 weeks ago when we sort of explained how the awards were done, everyone in the Count Out network, from you, me, Mikey, Zach, Loren, Michael, Sean, Amanda, Ashley, Sky. I believe that's everyone. Oh crap! No. I believe
you remembered yourself.
Yes.
So that was a good start.
I started with myself. That was easy. That was the obvious one. We all put in nominations. Everyone had up to 2 or 3 nominations that they can put in for each category. We have 9 categories of awards here, folks. Those nominations were put forward, and you, the listeners, were able to vote on who you believed were the best of the year.
Yes.
The 9 categories, of course, we had were Wrestler of the Year, Male Wrestler of the Year, Female Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Independent Wrestler of the Year, Match of the Year from a major promotion, Match of the Year from a indie/minor promotion, Breakout Star of the Year, and of course, we always have a special award here at Count Out, and this year's award was the Forbidden Award, going to the best Forbidden Door moment.
What starts the awards? Like, because when award shows happen, sometimes they often save the best for last, the juiciest one.
Mm-hmm.
What's the juiciest one?
I mean, the juiciest one. It's probably Match of the Year, right?
Yeah, Match of the Year.
Match of the Year, major promotion.
Sounds pretty juicy. We can do both of those last.
Yeah. We I prepped so much to this award show, but not the order of the awards.
I did nothing.
Yeah, that's true. I know all the answers. Folks. Scotty.
Yeah, you're gonna live reactions here.
Yeah, Scotty does not know any of the.
Oh, I wanted to say to everybody that there's no wrong choice unless you didn't pick mine. Then you're wrong.
Great.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving a warning for when we get to the awards.
Oh, awarding.
Oh, awarding. Oh,
is that anything? Is that anything?
I don't think so.
Fair enough. Well, I'm in my head. I'm very quickly putting together some sort of list. Okay,
I'll entertain the crowd. So, guys, if you're looking for a match this week to watch, since the 2 days since we talked last, I would go out of my way to watch Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Goshiyosaki. That match was phenomenal. It was brutal. It was wonderful. The main event of pro wrestling.
That's enough.
I was just trying to help.
We're not here talking about actual wrestling matches of the week. In a way, we will be, I guess, technically.
Of the year, actually.
Yes, we're talking about matches of the official year. And I have, of course, the categories presented. And here, I feel like I should play that music again.
Yeah.
Let me put that back up. It was good music. Good music.
It was. I was getting amped.
I got a commercial. Yeah, hold on. We got a commercial and we're skipping. God, this show's a mess. Who are we?
We're Ring Post Radio.
Yeah, I mean, the Ring Post Radio Nights, baby. Here we go. Starting off our night, celebrating the year that was 2021, is going to be a category for those that aren't signed. Well, some could be signed to major promotions that spent the majority of the year unsigned and excelled on the independent wrestling scene. That's right. We're starting off our night. I don't know what day it is or what time it is. Time is a flat circle. We're starting off our night with, of course, the independent wrestler of the year, Scotty.
All right. Are we gonna discuss like the winner or like what they did? Okay, just making sure. Gotta have my mind ready.
Yeah, we'll get our thoughts going on this stuff.
Love the music, by the way.
Thank you. I found it 10 minutes before we started. Let's start off with the what a category to start, Scotty. Because this category did not have a third place winner.
What?
This category did not have a third place winner because there was a tie for second. There was a two-person tie for second place. So tied for second place is, we're going to start off with this person.
Do you have a drum roll?
So I gotta have another cue.
I didn't know if we had like a drum roll for the number one. I was just asking.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea, though. We are doing this on the fly, folks. I don't know if that's that obvious. But we are doing it. Where'd my soundboard go?
This is my fault, and I'm sorry, everybody. I'm excited for the awards. You know, here's the problem about the Grammys and the Oscars. They're too set up. They try to make fake jokes that aren't funny. You know, here at Ring Post Radio and a Count Out, we don't do that. We just go, and whatever happens, happens. You know why? Because we're not famous people. We don't care about being embarrassed. We're gonna be embarrassed. I'm gonna be upset. Did you find the drum roll?
I did, but I'll save it for the first person. So I also, tomorrow there's going to be an article that also goes into more detail and everything, and like a proper sort of ranking based on the votes for everyone. I should say, how people voted, you would vote for a first place, second place, and third place for that category. Third place would get 1 point, second place would get 2 points, first place would get 3 points. I added up all these numbers, and that's how we got our votes. Anyways, here we go. How I decided some sort of differential thing is this: whoever got if they tied, then whoever got the more first place votes got higher up. Anyways,
got it. This
person who is tied for second for Independent Wrestler of the Year, Lee Moriarty. Shall we have claps? I feel like we should have clapping too. That's probably a good idea.
I mean, I would like to say that I was someone that voted for Lee Moriarty as my number 2, and here's why. He had a fantastic year as a wrestler.
I can't stop.
Let's just stop.
Yeah,
I think Lee Moriarty is very deserving of being in these awards because he earned himself a contract throughout the year. That's what he did with his great wrestling. That's why he's with AEW, and some of his matches this year were great. He had I can't think of the match. It's gone.
One of the matches he had nominated for independent.
Yuta, right?
He had I think that was the Daniel Garcia match, but he had let's look this up. He had a match against Daniel Garcia at Limitless Wrestling, which is outstanding. He also had a match on Enjoy Wrestling versus Darius Lockhart. Both of those matches were nominated for minor/independent promotion match of the year. But yeah, got this tied for second place. In speaking of that same breath, someone that had a great year and ended up the year signed to a company, also tied for second place, Masha Slamovich.
I think we gotta stop the clapping.
Fair enough.
That was my first place pick, so I'm happy that they both placed together. I think if you don't know much about Masha Slamovich, you will soon enough. especially if you watch Impact because she is signed there. She developed over in Japan with Marvelous. If you don't know who Marvelous is, Chigusa Nagayo, Takumi Iroha. Those are the two, head trainers, of course. Nagayo, an absolute legend, and Takumi Iroha, one of the best in the world today. Mm-hmm. And she's brought that back to the indies with her very physical, very powerful style. And I think she's only getting started. She's had a lot of matches this year, and I'm excited to see where she goes moving forward, especially with Impact.
Yeah, she was someone, for lack of a better term, was sort of trapped in Japan during COVID. And when she was finally able to make it to the States, I didn't think much about it. I remember when there was like word of her coming back to the States, the Twitter was like ablaze about like, oh, Masha's coming. Get ready, everybody, for Masha Slamovich. She's going to be great. Turns out she was. She had an outstanding year, a really good year, really solid, and she only got better. I watched a lot of her end of the year for Beyond on the Uncharted territory.
Great there.
She started having these weekly, really good matches with the likes of Ryan Gallione, Slade. When Charlie Evans came in, they wrestled against each other, and that was an outstanding match. Awesome. But she's been doing a great job as well. I should say Masha Slamovich and Lee Moriarty both got 16 points. Obviously, again, that's dependent on first, second place, and third place votes. So 16 points for those two. So good on them. But let's get on to the winner for the Count Out, the official Count Out Independent Wrestler of the Year. My cat just knocked over the trash can. Can I get a drum roll, please? No? Okay. Did it play?
No. That's okay. Whatever. Just say it.
The drum roll didn't even play. What the fuck? What is happening on this show?
Do you want me to just say it?
No. We're gonna do this proper because this deserves a proper thing for this person. Here we go. The number one winner is Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia wins Independent Wrestler of the Year from Countout. 26 points. 10 more whole points over the second place. Daniel Garcia is your Independent Wrestler of the Year.
I tried to, be a little different, but I think when I looked at the ballot, I was like, well, I know who's winning this. And of course it was Daniel Garcia. He just had great match after great match after great match. And just like Lee Moriarty and Masha Slamovich, it has got him signed. He's more used already than both of those two. Yep. I believe he was signed before both of them as well.
Correct.
But dude's great. I mean, one of my favorites from his is, of course, the one he had with Minoru Suzuki. That was fantastic. But then there's just, so many others to break down. Like you said, the one with Lee Moriarty, was that from Limitless?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was a great match. And Garcia's showing it now to the entire world that wasn't watching independent wrestling, how great he is. He has the technical base. We sing his praises all the time of like, we want to see him in the ring with Bryan Danielson already. That's how great he is. And there's a reason independent wrestling is so beloved again. And, as more of these free agents from WWE start to pour in, independent wrestling is only going to get better and better. So I'm happy for Daniel Garcia taking home the award for Independent Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah, if you look at, I'm at Cage Match right now, and if you look at his, I'm just looking at top 20 matches on the match guide, 3 of them, or of the 20, 17 of them are from this year alone. Top 5 are from this year. Garcia versus Yuta, Garcia versus Shelley, versus JD Drake, versus Kevin Koo, and versus Anthony Green. And then the one right after that is another Lee Moriarty match. But no, he's been outstanding all year round. He has been a great wrestler this year. Very happy, and I think that also goes to show is that when you have this category for Independent Wrestler of the Year, you almost you want all these people to be signed by the end of the year, right? Like you are expecting that these people should be signed and shall be signed, and guess what? All three of them have been signed. You don't necessarily want the Independent Wrestler of the Year award winner to be on the ballot next year, right? You want them to be in their own thing, vying for that Male Wrestler of the Year trophy, plaque, whatever.
Yeah, what do we hand out?
We hand out tiny ring posts. It's just a pole. It's just all it is a pole.
Here's a stick.
Here's a stick. How do you feel about that? But yeah,
wow.
Independent Wrestler of the Year. Is there any facts? I have a bunch of stats and stuff. Like I said, there'll be an article tomorrow about the whole thing. Is there anything you want to know about anymore, Scotty? Or how anyone else did on the thing?
No, because all three people that I voted for made it, so I'm happy.
Beautiful.
This is a big time selfish situation here.
Well, then let's move the show right along. Our next category tonight is going to be very similar to Independent Wrestler of the Year in the sense that we're looking to see who has really broken out onto the wrestling scene. This doesn't necessarily have to be independent wrestlers. It can be people that have been forced to work in awful companies and have finally been able to break out of that company. If you see, according to every single one of their post WWE videos, they're always breaking out of somewhere. So it could be someone that it had a outstanding year that wasn't necessarily the best wrestler of the year, but someone that had just a breakout year. This award, of course, is the Breakout Star of the Year, Scotty.
Ooh.
Did you just say who?
I said woo. Like, woo, yay.
Very nice.
This is weird for me. I can't say much. I'm just kind of waiting.
That's fair. You're on bated breath. So the third place winner of the Breakout Star of the Year is Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona, someone that obviously got released by AEW. Well, yes, got released by WWE last year. Worked a couple shots in AEW, but it really felt like in 2021, Matt Cardona found a spot of his own, especially in that. And I think that breakout moment that we're all looking at here for Matt Cardona is that GCW match against Nick Gage. I think that was the clear defining breakout moment for Matt Cardona, and he's been doing great work since. Scotty, you don't agree, I'm guessing. I'm guessing you do not agree.
I'm starting to worry that none of my picks are making it. So, if I'm going to be fair, I think that's actually a very good pick. I think what Matt Cardona was able to do outside of WWE shocked me because
it's something completely different. There's something completely
He went
different.
to Impact like I expected. I expected that. I was like, oh, he's an Impact guy. Brian Myers is there. Brett Myers, whatever the hell his name is. But the GCW stuff, I mean, that's the clear reason he won. No one expected Zack Ryder to go into death matches. No one expected Zack Ryder to win the GCW World Championship, and he did that. And he flourished as the biggest heel on the indies for that very short time. That wasn't a very long time he was doing that. And it got him a spot on the Breakout Star of the Year award, and I think it's very deserving.
Of course, he walked away with 11 points in the Breakout Star of the Year. I'll talk about it more, but this was the most contested category of every category that we have tonight.
Interesting.
This next person, over second place, received 12 points for second place. That is 1 point higher than Matt Cardona. This person's coming all the way from Japan. It's Micah.
Yes! Woo! That's a win for the good guys. Woo! All right.
Mikey.
Let me hype up Micah. Okay.
Micah, yeah. I think you can do a better job hyping up Micah than...
What Micah has done this year is completely changed the way we see her as a wrestler. Let me tell you. She started off, contending for the World of Stardom Championship at the 10th anniversary show. Very big Cork and Hall show for Stardom. She fought Utami Hayashida. Going into that match, you know what I expected? Nothing much. I didn't really expect much. They had a very good match. And throughout the year, she had great matches with, she had a great tag team match when she teamed with Himeka against Julia and Shuri. She had a great 5-star Grand Prix run where she beat Utami on night 1 in the main event. She also got her head smashed in the next night by Shuri, but we don't talk about that. She also had another title match just 2 months ago now in November, at the end of November, for the World of Stardom Championship one more time, which was another great performance by her. I think better than her first match. And she also was the runner-up in the Cinderella tournament earlier this year. It was a great year for Micah. Big things coming her way.
Yeah, she had an outstanding year. She was definitely someone that I really enjoyed watching as I got more into Stardom. Micah, it almost was a perfect time for me to get into because I really enjoy the way Micah wrestles. And seeing her this year has been really a highlight for me in my Stardom watching. I really enjoyed her work. Moving right along into the first place winner with receiving 17 points.
Wow.
5 points more than the other person. 17 points in first place. In first place for your breakout start of the year, Daniel Garcia.
Oh my God, this guy's 2-0.
Daniel Garcia.
We gotta slow him down.
Daniel Garcia, we've already spoken to him when it came to Independent Wrestler of the Year, but Daniel Garcia was a guy that, we talked about his matches, right? We literally just talked about his matches, how many outstanding matches he had this year. He's been wrestling for, let's see how long he's been wrestling. Career. He's been wrestling since 2017. This year was obviously his breakout year. He wrestled for, obviously, signed a contract of AEW. He's wrestled for Limitless, VXS, AAW, New Japan, IWTV, GCW, ICW. What is this promotion? West Coast Pro, ESW, OWA, C4, Beyond, Defy, PWG, WWE, even as a dark wrestler named Dante Rios. They had him for a moment, but they didn't keep him. He has definitely had a breakout moment this year, and congratulations for Daniel Garcia in this, winning 2 awards already in the night.
He had some really good matches also in AEW. I think we don't want to, overlook what he's doing now. He had a very good match on Rampage with Kingston a few weeks ago. The trios match this past week with your match of the week with 2.0 versus Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston.
Yep.
Did he have a match with CM Punk that was really good?
Yes,
he did.
Yes, he did.
He did. That was also a really good match. Probably his best to date in AEW.
Probably.
I feel confident saying that. He's 2-0 on the night. Can he continue his streak of winning awards? If he does, I might jump to the screen.
I think all he has left to do is win some sort of independent or minor promotion. I think the only other thing...
Match of the year, right? He can win match of the year.
Yeah, I believe those are the only other things he can potentially win. I wanted to bring this up. I talked about how this category was the most contested. Scotty, the reason it is that way is because there were 7 people, 7 wrestlers that tied in receiving the most first place nomination or picks, I guess.
Oh wow! So it was scattered.
It was completely scattershot. It was, I think, before the last person voted, there was multiple ties across the board. Those 7 people that received first place nominations, that all tied in first place nominations: Matt Cardona, Danhausen, Maki Ito, Miro, Daniel Garcia, Bianca Belair, and Adam Page.
Wow! Think of all those people that Daniel Garcia just beat.
I'm also looking at this now. Daniel Garcia tied in all 3 of those. He tied in most first place nominations. He tied with Micah with the most second place nominations, and he tied with Jeff Cobb for the most third place nominations.
Starting to see why he might have won.
It's all coming together. Well, he's got big shoes to fill. Obviously, last year's award winner was Brody Lee, having a outstanding breakout year then. and Daniel Garcia had an outstanding breakout year as well. Obviously, we all hope for even more amazing stuff from Daniel Garcia in the future.
Yeah, tough for him. He's in a company that got canceled right before the new year.
Scotty, this is a brevity. This is a light show. What do we do? We know 2022 started out wrong.
It was actually 2021 still. So
I guess that's fair. Let's move right along to our next category of the night. Of course, there are many wrestlers around the globe, but not all of them are. I'm doing this. I'm doing this all off the cuff. All of them have to have a home to fight in. Those homes, of course, are able to be eligible for our promotion of the year, the smallest category that we had this year for the Countout Awards, with only, 7 nominations to pick from. But of course, we have our top 3 award winners.
I'll rip my tie off if this goes poorly.
This one is gonna be interesting.
I will rip my tie off and I will leave the stream.
This is going to be interesting. Here we go. So, in third place for promotion of the year, which is something that many people have been saying all year, is GCW. Many people calling it the third biggest promotion of American wrestling right now. GCW obviously had also a great, outstanding year. They had Nick Gage returned to proper form. They had WrestleMania weekend with the outstanding RSP versus Gage match. They moved right along into Gage Cardona, Gage Moxley.
Hey, do you know GCW is more than Nick Gage?
Effie was also outstanding in GCW.
I like Bloodsport.
GCW had a lot of big moments surrounding Nick Gage this year. Bloodsport is outstanding. Was outstanding as well this year. But they've been doing a lot of great stuff, and I think they deserve at least the third place spot here.
Third place is fair. I can agree to third place. Second place and first place could be a fight. Second place is going to tell me all I need to know, actually.
GCW, of course, received 19 points in promotion of the year here.
Wow. That's a lot of points.
Yes, there is a big disparity between third place and fourth place. 19 points is third place. 9 is fourth place. So it's a big drop off there.
I'm going to ask what that was after.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's move on to second place, receiving 27 points. 27 points for promotion of the year. Getting second place for 2021 is Stardom.
Listen, I knew they weren't going to get number 1 because I think we all know who's going to get number 1, but I'm happy they got their credit.
Yes.
Now I'm happy. I will not be quitting the stream, leaving the show, ripping my tie off. I will be staying for the show. I'm just happy that they got their place on here because we all know it's taking number 1.
Why do you sound so defeated? It feels weird with the current clout surrounding this upcoming promotion.
Yeah, sure does.
So maybe give them an award.
My number 1 promotion didn't get canceled last year. Mine didn't.
Well, the thing
actually, to be fair, AEW didn't get canceled.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if they won. We don't know if they won.
Oh, yeah, right. WWE probably won, actually.
Yeah. New Japan, maybe.
Yeah. WWE was nominated, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. They were nominated. But a promotion isn't, of course, just the guy that runs it. It's all the people that work behind the scenes and all the wrestlers that wrestle within the ropes. So this year's promotion of the year for Countout is, of course, AEW with 40 points.
40, play that it. 40? Daniel Bryan dance to music. And
I think we can't play it on the stream here, but I think if any promotion that creates Born for Greatness for Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson deserves promotion of the year in my book.
Listen. I can't fight the AEW number 1 vote. They had a phenomenal year. I don't remember what happened in the first half of the year, but I remember what happened in the second half. And they brought in Bryan Danielson. They brought in CM Punk. They brought in Adam Cole. That's enough for me to give them second place.
Yeah.
Then they just happen to have great matches, great stories, great moments.
Great resolutions.
Well, we want to talk about New Year's resolutions. I think someone has a new one.
I meant Adam Page.
Oh, Adam Page. You just set that one up for me. I couldn't not take it. But yeah, the Hangman moment was a perfect moment. They had those last two pay-per-views they had were fantastic. The Revolution we don't have to talk about, but
up to the main event was
great.
pretty good. Up to the main event was pretty good.
I don't remember a single match that happened on that show except for the main event. But okay,
it was memorable.
But those last three pay-per-views, Double or Nothing when fans are back, just a different atmosphere, amazing.
Yeah.
And then
Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts was very good, except for like the weird throwing Jericho off part. But let me talk about All Out. All Out's a pay-per-view we'll remember for years to come. That ending years to come. The First Dance is a show we will remember forever, even though I only remember the main part. I don't remember who wrestled on that. I think John Moxley did.
Yes, John Moxley versus Daniel Garcia was the main event.
Maybe the awards are telling you all you need to know, people, about this year. But it was a great year for AEW, and I just realized you got me not cheering up Stardom, so you're a jerk.
I mean, if any promotion that is able to make Born for Greatness, CM Punk return to wrestling, give the Indie Wrestler of the Year and Breakout Star of the Year contract, deserves, in my book, of course, the award. And everyone agreed. But there is an interesting fact I notice in the stats here, Scotty, and I'm sure you're gonna love this one. So, of course, your promotion of the year was AEW and Stardom. But when I was looking through it, do you know what promotion received the most first place votes?
Stardom.
Correctamundo. Stardom received the most first place votes, with the most second place votes going to AEW. So despite Stardom getting the most first place votes, they ended up not getting enough point totals to outweigh AEW there.
I know who to blame / go for, so I'll see you on the other side.
He's going to the streets.
I'm going to the streets, but no, really, I'm happy with how these awards turned out. When I looked at the landscape of the 7, I was like, this makes sense. Because no one was picking WWE, and I need to know how many points they got. Like now, I need to know how many points they got because I need to know who's sus. They got 4. Okay,
4 points.
4 people are sus because no one could have gave them number 1. Wait, did they?
They got a third place vote and a first place vote.
Interesting
Indeed. I saw that. I was like, interesting.
Maybe someone gave it to them because they were happy their wrestler was freed.
Or maybe they were Ring Post radio listeners and they heard our decree of no one's gonna vote for WWE, and then they're like, "Oh, that's what you think, mother truckers."
That's also fair. I like those awards. I've really liked everything so far. I think everything is a reasonable finish. Now there's still time for me to get angry, so let's keep going.
It's always time. If I've learned anything from doing the show, there's always time for Scotty to get angry. He is a
Speaking of NWA, I'm sorry.
How dare you, sir?
They weren't even nominated.
No, they weren't. They were not.
Tells me all I need to know. Nick Aldis.
Real gripes with Nick Aldis. Our next category tonight is going to the duo that has put on outstanding work in the tag team division. This category, of course, is for the tag team of the year. 12 people were nominated for this award, and only 3 were receiving different colored poles.
I want to say, before we get into this award, I definitely tried to sway the vote on 1 or 2 awards, even if they weren't my first place choice, and this might have been one of them. Just wanted to say that. Continue.
Okay, well, we'll start off with third place here. Third place is going to go to the Stardom team of Julia and Shuri.
Yes, I am having myself a time tonight. I didn't even think they were going to get in there because I was worried. I didn't know who was voting, but I'm happy they got third place. I think that's a fair spot, seeing that they didn't team together for the final 3 months or the first 2 of the year. So, that's a 5-month chunk you take out. I still think they definitely deserve a spot in those top 3. Some great matches that I could always recommend to someone if they have no idea who they are or they've never seen their work, because they had some great work.
Yeah, I do feel like we should acknowledge the fact that the Joshi representation in all of these awards, right? I mean, I think every category has some sort of Joshi representation so far. You, of course, got Masha Slamovich.
Giving love to the streets.
Giving love to the streets. You got Masha Slamovich in there, who's, of course, Joshi trained. We got Micah, of course, getting second place, breakout star of the year. Stardom, second promotion of the year. Scotty's overheated. He's taking off the hat. And then, of course, Julian Shuri here getting third place for tag team of the year.
And Daniel Garcia also loves Stardom. So there's that.
There's that. Moving right along to the second place tag team of the year, of course, voted on by you. I should say Julian Shuri got 15 points there. Getting second place with 26 points.
Holy. Okay.
Are none other than Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. Sarah Miedo, Lucha Brothers win second place.
They have the best tag team match of the year. Well, they're part of it, in my opinion, because that steel cage match is one of the best matches I've ever seen. It's just insane. And those two, when they're together, unmatchable, like undeniable. Sorry, messed up my words a little bit. Happens, but
yes,
seeing that, I don't think they were able to consistently tag until halfway through the year due to whether it was a injury or other, outside interference. They really turned it on once they were able to stick together, and both of them had great tag team matches with Pac. So you want to include that part for them. They just had great tag team matches from beginning to end. And I'm really happy they got in here because I did vote. I did give them one of my votes. And of course, they're the AEW World Tag Team Champions now. So that's cool.
Yeah, no, they had an outstanding year. I think they definitely deserved this.
I'm just going to get ready. I'm just going to get ready.
I don't know. He just stretched out my back. Stretched out my back real quick. Scotty's stretching out his back a little bit. Of course, that was your second place. Your first place and your winners of Tag Team of the Year with 35 points, the Young Bucks. I didn't do the drum roll, but
they didn't need it.
They didn't need it. It's very obvious as well, wasn't it? Young Bucks, another outstanding tag team this year. Jude, did you have thoughts? Jude? No. Outstanding tag team this year as well. They obviously have a nominated match where they had Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers, as he talked about. But they had outstanding matches all throughout the year. Let me see if I can pull up one of their match guides a little bit real quick.
They had the one with John Moxley and Eddie Kingston, which was great. They had they just had one. I enjoyed their trios match when they teamed with Adam Cole against Christian and Jurassic Express. I really enjoyed that, even though it was, on the downswing of like a lot of action. I thought that was really good. I'm trying to remember the earlier part of the year because they were a great tag team. When they became heels, I thought they really were it. They were back to being the Young Bucks to me, because last year was kind of a lost year for them. So I'm happy they had such a great year.
They did not last year. They did not even get even ranked first, second, or third place last year.
Tells you all you need to know.
They've had outstanding matches. I'm just looking at cage match real quick. The trios matches, I think, would be the big standout for them, in my opinion. They had that Falls Count Anywhere match at Full Gear. Of course, the Lucha Brothers match at All Out. What else do they have? The 5-on-5 elimination at Fight for the Fallen. That was a great moment. I don't even remember this match. The AEW World Tag Team title street fight, Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Pentagon at Road.
Oh, I remember that match. That match was great. Oh,
it's starting to come back to me. I can feel it starting to come back to me a little bit. Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley, you spoke about. Able to have a couple of great matches against the Seidel's, SCU. The SCU match was this year as well.
SCU.
Where they just destroyed Christopher Daniels' eyeball. Which
don't we all?
Well, don't we all? But they had an outstanding year. So congratulations to the Young Bucks for getting probably not their first nor their last Tag Team of the Year award.
Right. Are they your greatest tag team of all time?
Probably. I mean, when I started watching wrestling, of course, WWE was the dominating promotion, so there wasn't much tag team wrestling to be had. But of what I've seen, of what I remember,
when did you start watching WWE?
08.
That's fair.
Yeah. But I believe, like, since of what I've watched, I would obviously have to go back in time to watch even more. Not go back in time. Well, maybe go back in time to watch more tag team wrestling matches. But at least in this period right now, Young Bucks are, I think, probably one. I mean, they're easily the best. If not the best, they're at least the most consistently great. You know, like if that's not the best, I don't know how you define that. They were outstanding this year. I really enjoy a lot of different tag teams, but it's just at the end of the day, Young Bucks are just really, really great. I mean, what?
I think I can agree. I've watched a lot of old stuff when it comes to, the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian. I've seen them, but I haven't seen every tag team in the history of time and space. But when it comes to great tag team matches, I feel like the Young Bucks probably have a lot of my tops. I mean, two of the best tag team matches I've ever seen, back-to-back years for them.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman Kenny versus them, and then this year Inside the Cage. So, again, bravo to them. Like you said, this will not be their last.
I don't think it will be. I think they have plenty more. As long as TK keeps cashing those checks, I wouldn't be surprised if they have many more years ahead of them. Let's move on to our next category. Our next category, of course, we're heading on over to the women's division of professional wrestling. I feel like this year in women's division wrestling was better than last year. I think that there has been some outstanding breakouts, not just Micah.
Time I get angry.
Not just Micah, but I think this year has been outstanding for the women's division. It feels like this music's getting louder. It's been an outstanding year for the women's division, and an outstanding year for a lot of different women in different promotions. Of course, we got AEW, Stardom, WWE, a lot of representation in this category. Impact, a lot of representation in this category. 13 nominations here for us, and of course, we have some winners. And we're going to start off with our third place. And why are we starting off with third place? Not just because...
Be careful, Ryan.
It's the thing we do. I'm not going to be careful.
Ryan.
I'm going to let all my cards out. We have a three-way tie, folks.
Oh, no.
Three-way tie for third place, all tied with 11 points. I could not believe it myself. All these women got third place. These women going up, and I'll give some quick thoughts and maybe some overall thoughts here, Scotty. Third place, Bianca Belair. Third place as well, Thunderosa. And also tied for third place, Brit Baker. Oh, I fucked that up. Jesus.
Ron Breaker's sister, Brit Baker.
Brit Baker, DMD. DMD. All tied. Baker, Rosa, Belair, all tied for third place.
I think I voted for one of them as my third place. And I think it was Bianca. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. But I think it was Bianca. When it comes to those three, in terms of the United States.
You did not vote for any of them.
All right. That sounds about right. Anyways, when it comes to the United States, those are three very, very good choices. Britt Baker had herself a year in AEW, even if I don't like a lot of her matches. It's not all about matches.
But speaking of matches, her fellow third place nominee, Thunder Rosa.
That was her best match by a lot. I thought that was a great match.
Match of the year nominee.
And then Bianca Belair, against Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. That's a moment. That's a match. She won the Royal Rumble. There's a lot that goes into what Bianca Belair did to earn a spot on here, and I'm happy for her. Thunderosa, I mean, she's wrestled pretty much everywhere this year. She's had some great matches. Did she wrestle Serena Deeb this year?
Thunderosa?
Yeah. Or was that last year?
I'll look that up. I don't remember.
Anyways, she had that great match with Brit Baker. She's had some really good TV matches. She's had some good independent wrestling matches. She had a really good one with Mercedes Martinez on Warrior Wrestling in December. I really enjoyed that.
She went
Thunder
on
Rosa is very good.
She went on over to Impact and wrestled Deonna Purrazzo.
Also a solid match. And there's probably a guarantee that she's going to be in the conversation this year because I expect her to win the AEW Women's World Championship soon enough.
That is possible. She has wrestled Serena Deeb 3 times, but that was all in 2020.
Okay, so my memory is gone. That's what I thought.
That is true. Moving on to our second place for Female Wrestler of the Year. Second place goes to Shuri.
Okay, so it's okay that my wrestler of the year got second place. It's okay because we're still in the running, folks. We're still in the running for number one. Shuri had a phenomenal year. I think that goes without saying, clearly, because she is in second place here. Match after match after match. Starting January, she had a great match with Azumi for the SWA Women's World Championship. And then as the year went on, had a great tag team match, as I said earlier, with Micah and Jamaica with Julia. She had a great tag team with Julia and... my head just shut down.
He broke in front of me.
Oh, she had a great tag team with Julia. Great tag team. They had the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles until the end of the year. They still have them. Fantastic tag team there. And then as a singles wrestler, it goes without saying. It goes without saying.
End of the year as World of Stardom champion.
Yeah, and her last 6 months, maybe the best 6-month run I've ever seen. Just match after match. She made the 5-star Grand Prix every match she had. Must see. And that's saying a lot for anyone, but she just had such an amazing year. And of course, like you said, ending the year as World of Stardom champion. Plus her matches with Utami. I can't not say those.
Yeah, Shuri got 21 points this year. Outstanding. Same sort of point I had about Micah, I have here with Shuri as well. When I was starting to get more into Shuri, I don't know, it's a chicken egg situation. Is it matches like the Shuri match that got me wanting to watch more of Stardom, or was it just I was watching and then I fell in love with Shuri and Micah? I don't know. But what I do know is that Shuri has had an outstanding year. She's had outstanding matches. She helped put Joshi, specifically Stardom, more on the map. I think a lot of what she did this year helped bring Stardom to that second place Promotion of the Year category, that award. She's had an outstanding year, and I think she's done a great job and a great pickup for Stardom. All right, I mean, she wasn't trained in Stardom proper, I don't believe.
No, she was not.
But
they signed her at the beginning of 2020.
Great.
And she's just been locked in.
Great job on Stardom. Well, let's head on over, of course, to our first place winner. Our winner for Female Wrestler of the Year. That, of course, is going to none other than Utami Hayashishida.
Woo! That's a win. That's a win for the good side. I'm just saying.
For the streets.
But truthfully, I'm very happy she won. She had one of the most incredible title reigns I'll ever see. She had it until the third to last day of the year. She almost went the entire calendar year with the title. She had endlessly great matches. Like goes back to talk about Micah and Shuri. Micah's matches, Shuri's matches. She had a great match with Saya Kamatani. She had a great 5-star run. Her final night on the 5-star, she had a great match with Tam Nakano. It goes without saying, without Utami Hayashishida, I don't know how great Stardom's year is. I don't, because she was at the center of it all as their champion. Fantastic year. She established herself as just near the level of an Io Shirai, which is saying a lot in Stardom. She's going to keep climbing. She's still very young. She's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
This is not her last time being in contention for this. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, outstanding year on her part. You can't talk about Shuri without talking about Utami. Utami has, in a lot of ways, put Stardom on her back. Just outstanding effort, work in every match she had with Shuri, with Micah, all through the Grand Prix as well. Utami, you know, many people compare her to Okada, and I think that's apt because not only of the range she has had, but the ability, probably. There's a lot of other factors, but probably one of the most profitable champions in Stardom's history.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
Stardom feels the biggest it's ever been, at least to me.
It is.
And that in part has to do with Utami. She's bringing a promotion across the shores.
I mean, it's the fact that you're talking about Stardom now that tells you, like, it's growing. It's getting there. And, you know, me and you had the conversation. Do we consider a major promotion yet in the world? And I said, let's hold off one more year. Mostly so I can vote for other things. But no, seriously, like, they are clearly, they're at least tied for the number 3 promotion in Japan right now, which is sizable, seeing that we're talking about the likes of Pro Wrestling Noah, DDT, that are behind them. Dragon Gate's number 2, so right. I wasn't going to bring them up.
Well,
and of course,
that last show, Dream Queendom, did pretty good against Dragon Gate.
Yeah, this is true. Kind of, swept the floor with them. Whatever. What are you? How you doing?
Oh God! Oh, welcome everybody. Of course, Tony D'Angelo joining us on the show here today. Tony, any thoughts? Any further thoughts about Utami Hayashishita?
I was almost about to break out into my Braun Breaker impersonation instead, because that's the only impersonation I got. Yeah. AKA, you want a friend? Get a dog. Perfect every time. No, but Utami, she's someone that, you know, Dave Meltzer is talking about in the Luthez Award for the, you know, Observer Awards, and he says she rightfully belongs there. He wouldn't fault anyone if she won. That says a lot for what she's done this year as champion, as the centerpiece of a growing Stardom, and, you know, it'll be interesting to see what she does now without the title.
Yeah, exactly. They had an outstanding year, and next year, who knows? Obviously, but we'll, I think, feel confident in Shuri, and feel confident that they have the building blocks surrounding Stardom, and, you know, they can just do a couple. I talked about this before. Just do a couple more things to maybe get that American audience in, that English commentary, better streaming service sort of situation. I think you can really get people into Stardom, I feel. But they're on the horizon. They've definitely been more exciting to watch than for New Japan. I'll say that much.
Take that, Nuge.
Correct.
Well, they're both owned by the same, you know, major company of Bushiroad, so that's a big dunk. And they were a profit, unlike, you know, New Japan. So
what does that say about you, Nuge? Anyways, let's move on to our next category.
Speaking of Nuge, I don't know. I was just trying. I don't know what's next.
You don't know what's next, but what is next is, of course, in the same vein as the rest of the year. Let's hunt over to the other end of the binaries, the binary spectrum.
You tried.
Oh God, I just got canceled. Anyways, I can't think. Male wrestler of the year, folks. Male wrestler of the year.
All right, guys, I need a new podcast partner. So he's gonna get canceled. Maybe you just cut that out.
I can't cut it in. I'm now introducing the category. I can't cut that out. And there's no way I can do it again.
He didn't mean it. He fumbled.
I don't mean it. I was doing this on the cuff, but I was just like, oh, for some reason I was like, I can't see the other end of the aisle because there's so many other There's so many other fluidity in there. Spectrum, I guess, kind of works. I feel like I'm digging a ditch. Let's just get
Just
to the male
stop.
wrestler of the year. Male wrestler of the year, folks. Here we go. Male wrestler of the year, starting with third place, is of course going to be, speaking of Nuge, Shingo Takagi, your IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
My number one choice. He was my number one choice. I'll openly admit that. The matches he had throughout the year, I understand. I said at the beginning, it's not all about matches. But I know who's going to make this list because it's probably my top three like everyone else's. And truthfully, I don't think there's a wrong order of these three. I don't. I think they've been phenomenal all year long. I'm not going to spoil them, but I think they've been phenomenal all year. Shingo Takagi pretty much carried New Japan on his back.
Yeah,
which is saying a lot.
Shingo had 15 points here. I don't think we could have expected Shingo to be the kind of guy that is going to carry New Japan on the back this year. But obviously, there were a lot of different factors that put him into that role. And I think the audience voted as the same, that we can all agree he did a good job. He did a really, really, really great job at putting that company when they needed him. You know, they could have gone back to Okada, which remains to be seen. They could have gone to Tanahashi. They could have gone to some other person. No, they went to Shingo. And Shingo was the guy able to put the promotion on his back as best he could with the circumstances. And obviously, he had an outstanding year. And I think he'll continue to have it. I think New Japan is an abundance of Wrestler of the Year kind of people. So I think congratulations to Shingo in that endeavor. Moving right along to the second place award winner for Male Wrestler of the Year. That, of course, is going to be with 21 points. I don't know if I said of Shingo. Shingo had 15 points. With 21 points is going to be Bryan Danielson.
Get us trademarked right now.
I was born for greatness, greatness, greatness.
Bryan Danielson. What's there to say about Bryan Danielson? Plenty.
Great theme song. Outstanding theme song.
He will probably go down as the only man to ever main event, WrestleMania, and then later that year, come out following the main event of AEW All Out. He is probably going to be the only man that will ever do that. You know why? Because fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. I don't think WWE will let that happen again. But he had great matches in WWE. He had amazing matches in AEW. Mm-hmm. Of course, we could talk about his 60-minute draw with Hangman Page, which I think is the worst of the two draws. He had the draw with Kenny Omega, which is a match of the year contender. Mm-hmm. He had matches with Minoru Suzuki, Eddie Kingston. Those were phenomenal as well. He had matches with Anthony Bowens and other people that were just so good. Mm-hmm. You know, I would say so good for a TV match, but really that's how I felt after. I was like, you know, this feels better, and every match he had felt more important. And now we're seeing him in this heel character to close out the year where he was just masterful. I know he missed like a solid 5 months, but he did a lot in the months that he didn't miss. So
yeah, and I think and I'll be honest, didn't vote Bryan Danielson in my top three. I did,
meaning I'm right.
Oh, I take that back. I did vote him. I vote him as number 3. Whoa.
Oh,
my catch is
so see, you're back to being right. Congrats.
Being right. Yeah, no, but I think the thing about Bryan Danielson is that, and I could argue, one could argue, well, he missed 5 months out of the year. What is that going to do? No, I mean, he had an outstanding year. Obviously, those, I think it was Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, whatever that was, where I think he had a one-on-one match against Roman Reigns was outstanding. Of course, the Fastlane. There we go. The Roman Reigns triple threat with Edge was also outstanding. 5 months off, comes back, just has a barn burner after barn burner. Match of the year contenders against Omega and Page. is able to bring, like you said, the cream to the top with Anthony Bowens, John Silver, Alan Angels.
Maybe match with Dustin Rhodes was really good.
Rhodes. Oh, I forgot about that match.
That was a really good match.
Really good match. But let, of course, get to the male wrestler of the year for 2021 with 31 points. 31 points, folks. Your male wrestler of the year is, of course, going to be Kenny Omega. For a second there, I thought you were
Are you ready for this?
For a second there, I thought you were about to do a John Cena's theme.
I hear the battle cry, the one wing angle scream. Are you ready for this?
Kenny Omega getting 31 points.
Nailed it.
Kenny Omega also got the most first place votes solely by himself. So congratulations to Omega on that front. A little bit of a blowout here for male wrestler of the year for Kenny Omega, getting 10 points higher than the second place award winner. Outstanding year. And not only was he having an outstanding year, but the news that happened at the end of the year about how Omega was injured and working through an injury through the majority of the year, in hindsight, made his year all the better. Like, that is how good he was injured. Apparently really injured for that long, for that much of the year. And just having outstanding matches. We talked about again with Bryan Danielson. Of course, he had a match of Adam Page, which was outstanding. He was part of that 5-way match at Fight for the Fallen, which is also outstanding. Match after match after match. He had a moment with Moxley. I wouldn't say great match, but he had a moment. And just was able to also not only be the wrestler of the year in AEW, but able to showcase that in other promotions, having an outstanding match of Rich Swann in Impact, having a match against Christian, which is on AEW, but for the Impact title. Just doing outstanding work for the wrestling world as a whole for Kenny Omega.
One, I could tell how fed up Ryan was after I was done singing. Two, he had great matches in every promotion he wrestled. Yeah, at least one really good, if not great match. He was a AAA Mega Champion. He was the Impact World Champion, and he was the AEW World Champion. Impact, another match that I want to recommend because less people are watching Impact than AEW. He had a great match with Sami Callihan at Cyberversary. Sounds right.
Yes.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah. Had a great match there. He had that weird match with Moose that was like in the empty Daly's place, which was weird.
Yeah.
But his AEW stuff, I think, was going to get him this award no matter what, truthfully. Like you said, the injuries that added up, and he still kept going and still wrestling at such a high level. We can only credit him. He's not a big promo guy. He's not this massive personality like a CM Punk or an Eddie Kingston, but he doesn't need to be because he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he had a fantastic year as AEW World Champion. I can't wait till he comes back. Healthy version of Kenny Omega, because that will only be better.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm very excited. So congratulations to Kenny Omega, of course, with that beating out 12 other people in this category. Last year, he was second place at the year-end awards, and now he's officially first place. So you love to see that improvement from second place into first. So congratulations again to Kenny Omega. Moving into our next category, of course, we're going to go back down to sort of that minor level, that independent level. We're already talking match of the year, folks, in a ginormous category with 15 nominees. This category housed the best in minor promotion / independent wrestling. So, of course, we have people from the likes of Rev Pro, Ring of Honor, Stardom, Lucha, Noah, any indie promotion under the sun, IWTV, GCW. Enjoy some great work from the minor promotions independent wrestling scene. Made it hard for us to nominate stuff, but we ended up achieving 15 nominations for you. So Scotty, let us get into it. Why don't we?
I'm ready. I am tired and I am ready.
It wouldn't be Ring Post Radio nights without getting slightly tired from drinking alcohol and doing a show.
I can tell Ryan's getting sick of me, people. I'm
not sick of you. I'm having a good time. I'm loving it.
This is the second time he's had to talk to me in like 3 days as well. So adds up.
Yeah, I only have a 1 week
once a week situation. That's fair.
But let's talk about the minor promotion / independent wrestling promotion of the year. Again, Scotty, no third place winners here.
Oh, we got tied for 2.
We got a tie in second place, and let me make sure I pull up.
Oh, this is my last angry award.
Your last potentially angry award.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to it. Match of the year, minor / independent promotion. Of course, your tied for second place award here goes to the match from the 5-star Grand Prix Night 7. The finals there. It was Momo Watanabe versus Shuri.
I win.
Oh my god. He's turned into a supervillain, folks.
I'm so happy because this match was an incredible 18 minutes between these two. If you followed the show, they both wrestled earlier in the night. Shuri went to a 20-minute draw. Great match with Takumi Iroha. Momo didn't do much of anything. I think she fought like a child.
Her match, if I recall, her match was like sub 5 minutes.
She fought Hana and Reno. So 2 children. She fought 2 children. But
because her match the Julia match was.
Yeah, she was supposed to fight Julia. Yeah. We still don't get that. Anyways, I'm so happy this match made it. It's one of my favorites of the year because just how brutal it was, how fast-paced it was. There was no, waiting around. They treated it like this is a tournament final that we just, we wrestled early in the night. Even if Momo, like we said, didn't wrestle too long, they still both wrestled in the night. They treated it as such. It was a phenomenal match, and I'm just happy it got the placement it deserves.
Also tied in second place for minor / independent wrestling promotion of the year. Both of these got 9 points, by the way. The other award winner here is going to be Alex Colon versus Atticus Kogar at the Tournament of Survival 666 for GCW. Scotty, any thoughts on this one?
I never saw this match. I can't say a word.
Well, it's a great match. It got second place here. I believe I gave it 4.5 stars. It actually, I don't want to say actually because I feel like that demeans deathmatch a little bit. It was an outstanding match. Obviously, based on this category alone, best. I guess first place remains to be seen. But one of the best
death matches of the year.
One of the best death matches of the year. Atticus Kogar has really come into his own in wrestling and deathmatch wrestling. Alex Colon, one of the best around, of course. Not only having a great match here, but Alex Colon winning the match and getting the 3-peat in the Tournament of Survival. So having the sort of resolution Cinderella story there as well for Alex Colon. An outstanding match. If you want to hear more about it, I'm sure talk to Loren Rosenberg. He would have a lot more to say about this match as well. I believe he was there front row. Great match to watch. Great match to watch. Definitely check it out if you.
I'd be terrified to sit front row at that match. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, when I was at the Indianapolis Collective weekend of shows, we were there for spring break, or not spring break, I guess. Was it still spring break? I don't remember, because obviously it was in the fall. But they had the main event was Matt Traymont versus Alex Colon in a death match during Matt Traymont's retirement tour, even though he's back. Sorry, he retired for a year. He was
Classic retirement.
Gone for like a year. Not even a year. Now that I think about it, I think it was barely a year. But it was that match. You know, it made me like realize something great about deathmatch wrestling, and that is the fact of there's the teasing of what's going to happen, and then that first moment, a light tube breaks and the glass shoots across. You're like, oh shit, this is real. This just got real. And yes, it is terrifying, but it is something that is fully believable. And when it comes to wrestling, what is more believable than death?
Move on.
I didn't really feel like it. I landed that. I feel like I'm not landing my off the cuff.
Hey, we all have off nights. We all have off nights.
I guess that's fair. Let's move on.
That's why we do this show in the morning.
That's fair. Let's move on to our first place winner. I did it too early. First place winner for minor/indie wrestling match of the year. It, of course, is going all the way to Stardom. It is Shuri versus Utami Hayashishita 1. I believe it was just 1 for the Tokyo Dream Cinderella show. So congratulations to Utami and Shuri again for match of the year for minor/independent promotion. Scotty, second place got 9 points. First place got 27. This was a blowout, and I think between...
I have one ballot. I did not use multiple. Do not.
That's correct.
Do it.
It is set up that unless you had multiple emails, you could not have done 2 ballots.
Yeah. Before, I thought you were just trying to send that on me. I was like, no.
I was going to say that between Utami and Shuri getting first and second place female wrestler of the year, Julie and Shuri getting tag team of the year, third place, Stardom getting second place promotion of the year, Micah getting second place breakout star, and Utami Hayashishita versus Shuri minor/independent promotion. If they stay this trend, if nothing really falls apart next year, it's looking like they're about to upgrade to major promotion Stardom, because this was I believe the biggest blowout in the entire
27-9 sounds like
27-9 is a pretty big decimation, but I can run those numbers for you to see if that's correct. But thoughts on this match, Scotty?
It was my match of the year. If you've been listening to Ring Post Radio, been paying attention, if you follow me on Twitter, this has been my match of the year since it happened. It was one of those rare times I gave out the coveted 5 stars.
I believe it was your first.
It was my first of the year. It took me a while to get a 5-star match out there, but it's everything you want. And I'm not going to spoil the match for anyone, because hopefully, my hope, to those listening, is if you haven't seen the match yet, you will check it out and watch it yourself. But we've been saying it throughout the show. You can't talk about Utami without talking about Shuri. You can't talk about Shuri without talking about Utami. This is the match that exploded Stardom into a new realm of popularity.
Yeah.
I wrote an entire article about it on voiceswrestling.com if you want to check it out. Mm-hmm. Over 3,000 words. Put my heart's life into it. Everything about it.
Not his soul. His soul.
No, not my soul. I kept that for now. But what they were able to do in 43 minutes, that's all I'm going to tell you. 43-minute match. What they were able to do is some of the best work I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of my favorite matches of all time. You could just feel how important this was to them. You could feel what they were trying to do as the match goes on. And the comparison I make is, now you might not see it in the same light, people might not see it in the same light, but this was the Okada Omega match for Stardom.
Yeah.
That's what this was. So when you all check it out, hopefully, or if you have already, you can feel, after that, everyone was talking. Bring up Dave Meltzer again. I bring filthy Tom Lawler, Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of people talking about this match that don't usually talk about Stardom, and it got that second match that they had later in the year that we talked on last episode,
Mm-hmm.
it brought in, I feel like it brought in a lot of eyes, brought in a lot of numbers. One way or another, people are checking out that match.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy it won the minor match of the year, minor league, minor promotion.
That works.
Minor promotion.
That works. And it's going back to Dave Meltzer. He broke the scale on this one, gave it 5.5.
Highest rated women's match of all time.
Yeah. If that doesn't speak for itself, I don't know what will. Maybe it's having a I did the math. The biggest blowout in any category was this match alone. This match was just outstanding. It was also my match of the year in terms of a minor/independent wrestling promotion.
Ryan, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. You helped guide me to it. I
guided you to the light.
You guided me to the light that is Stardom. I don't mean to say this in like a negative way. That's my preamble.
Oh boy.
This match was the first match for Stardom where it allowed me to forget about all the bad things that happened the year prior in Stardom. It brought me into like, there's a future. There is a future in Stardom. And I try to say that as delicately as I possibly can. Yeah. But this was the match that was like, the year 2020 was very rough for Stardom, and it's still the ripples we talked about last year. The ripples are still the effect with the
death of Hana Kimura, the retirement of. Let me just real quick explain it. I don't mean to take it away from you, but
go for it.
Within a 5-day span, it went even shorter. They lost. So Arisa Hoshiki, who was the Wonder of Stardom champion at the time, had to retire due to a neck injury. Hana Kimura, of course, passed away. Mm-hmm. And if you go back to that Wrestle Kingdom show, the 4 people that wrestled were, I believe, Arisa, Julia, Mayu Iwatani, and Hana Kimura. Yep. Those were the 4. We toss around pillars a lot, but those were the 4 pillars of Stardom moving forward.
Yeah.
And they lost 2 of them.
They
lost 2 of them less than 6 months later.
Yeah.
They lost them both in May. And I think you make a great point about how it was the first time you could be like, okay, they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, that was hard. And it still is. It still really, really is.
Mm-hmm. You still feel it to the day. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what's going through her head entirely, but I think obviously that plays a lot in Konami taking a break from wrestling. Obviously, Jungle is still out for however much longer, if she ever decides to come back. Yeah, but I mean that in the best way possibly I can. This was the match that not only was able to be a sort of redemption's not the word, but a sort of revival, breathing life back into the Stardom promotion a little bit more, but able to showcase the future of it. Is that, yes, we may have lost half of our pillars here, but we have a future prepped and ready to go. And Utami Hayashishita had an outstanding year. Shuri had an outstanding year, and the 2 of them together had one of the best matches of the year. And to us, the best match for minor promotion. And they brought Stardom to a whole new level. They sold 3,000 plus tickets at Dream Queendom, which like out
in Japan's a big deal
in
right
Japan,
now.
Which is a big deal. Outdrew Dragon Gate. They are on the come up. Stardom is ready, and a lot of what their business has been able to be built off of is this match. It's this match alone. And I congratulate those 2 women and congratulate Stardom for putting on an outstanding wrestling match.
And it's free right now on YouTube. You have no more excuse. They just put it up today.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, they just put it up today. Japanese fans voted their 3 favorite matches of the year. And they put all 3 up in one video. It's an hour and 20-minute long video.
Ooh. Oh, there's a couple.
Yeah. They put up a lot of videos.
Oh, my God.
Today.
Wait, are these all full matches, too?
It might be, yeah.
Ooh, I got some Stardom to watch.
Yeah, but they put up this match for free.
It looks like the top 10. It looks like 3 videos that have the top 10.
That makes sense. It got number 2 in Japan, actually. So,
what was number 1?
Julia versus Tam Nakano for the Wonder of Stardom Championship in a hair versus hair match. Hair versus hair carries a lot of extra
weight,
meaning in Japan, especially. Like, they don't treat it like, not going to be mean, but like WWE doesn't treat that the same way that, like, it's a real embarrassing, especially.
You're telling me that it wasn't embarrassing when Duke Hudson got his head shaved by Cameron Grimes?
No, stupid.
Who
in
Joshi, we haven't seen since either of them.
That's also a great match, but yeah, it's up for free now, so you have no excuse if you're listening to this. I will send you the link personally. Follow me at Scott E Wrestling on Twitter. I will send it to you.
Yeah. Did they say how long that will be up?
No, so I'd watch it as soon as possible.
Fair enough. That is potential money loss. So definitely go out of your way to watch that. Let's go back to the awards. This year for Countout, we like to do a special award every award season. Last year, it was our Lemonade Award. Those who, despite having a horrendous year of 2020, those are able to make the best out of it. Out of a shitty situation. That award winner, of course, was to AEW for their Brody Lee Memorial episode. This year, we changed it up a bit and had our special award being what showcased the wrestling world altogether, and that was the Forbidden Door. So this is our Forbidden Award, the award for best quote-unquote Forbidden Door moment.
I know mine's probably not going to finish, but I'm excited.
We'll get to it. Let's start off with our third place vote, getting 15 points in the Forbidden Award. It was Jon Moxley in GCW. Of course, Jon Moxley showed up earlier in 2020 on Bloodsport at the Indianapolis Collective show. But he showed up. Everyone thought that was just going to be a one-off. Instead, he showed up and he showed out and is the current GCW heavyweight champion. So not many people would have expected that, but it makes the perfect sense in the world. And obviously the fans of GCW love it enough for them to vote it as number 3.
I'm trying to think of words. It's really cool seeing any AEW star really go to, these independent promotions. We've seen Thunderosa do it recently. Or really any major promotion star dip their toe in GCW. The Briscoes are currently their tag team champions. I know Ring of Honor is now, not dead, but currently gone. Currently on president, but we've seen Jonathan Gresham.
In a coma. Ring of Honor's in a coma.
Minoru Suzuki. Like, there have been some crazy names in GCW this year, but I think we can all agree Jon Moxley was the craziest. At the beginning of the year, he was AEW World Champion. Now he's the reigning GCW World Champion. His match with Nick Gage was a big deal. Wasn't very good, but it was a big deal. And that rivalry was pretty cool to, just to follow, because when he showed up originally, people just lost their shit. Social media was going nuts. So I definitely agree. This definitely belongs in the top 3, because I think it's just so crazy to think about. 3 years ago when he was still Uncle Dino, Dean Ambrose in WWE.
That's not that long ago.
No.
Outstanding work for Jon Moxley and GCW. Great partnership there. And also showing up, winning the title, then showing up on Dynamite the next episode in GCW hoodie. Very nice. Very nice. Cool. We love that brand necessity, I guess. Move right along to second place for the Forbidden Award. This is going to go to Minoru Suzuki's United States run. Every match he had was at minimum really good. He faced the likes of Daniel Garcia, Calvin Tankman, Davey Richards, Homicide, all of those spots in AEW versus Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Had some great matches. I was part of New Japan Strong. Scotty, you're breaking down what's happening.
You missed the good one.
What did I miss?
The best one, I should say. Him versus Danielson that they just tossed on YouTube for free.
I forgot. How can I forget? Why did I forget? That match was great. That match was outstanding. That was probably his best match.
For my money, probably.
I'm going through the Rolodex.
I didn't see every single one.
Is that the best match of his year?
Minoru has to be. He didn't do much before he went to the U.S.
Let's check.
That's not a shot at him. He just did it.
No. Let's check. I'm going to see Cage Match. Let's see what Cage Match has to say.
Yeah, Cage Match will tell us everything. No, I'm not kidding. Probably will.
Let's see. Let's check the match guide here real quick. We'll go by rating. Best match. First top match in 2021, Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki. Wrestling Observer gave it 4.75 stars. The match after that, which isn't really United States, but it was part of his indie tour. It was his your match of the week last week: Suzuki, Ito, Brooks versus Higuchi Akai and Sakaguchi.
Nice. I'm very on par with Cage Match.
Yes, but he has had an outstanding run. His best match of the year was against Bryan Danielson, and just had, like I said, at minimum, that Daniel Garcia match. I loved that match so much. That was such a good match.
That almost got me. That almost got my first place vote, but I couldn't not vote for my choice.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But that match alone was outstanding. Was that match even nominated? Minoru Suzuki versus Daniel Garcia? I don't think it was.
It wasn't, but it was great.
It was outstanding.
Which isn't shocking.
Yeah, it is what it is. But let's move right along into our first place winner. Suzuki US Run got 22 votes. This first place winner got 28 votes. Your winner of the Forbidden Award, none other than Kenny Omega, aka the Belt Collector. He's also the male wrestler of the year, so you can't deny his achievement in Forbidden Doorism. Wrestling in both AEW and also AAA and also Impact. He's had an outstanding year. He's wrestled, like you said earlier, every single match he had in all his other promotions has been outstanding. He has had, at minimum, great matches, and he's been doing an outstanding job. And that definitely made that moment, again, it was the end of 2020, but that moment where Don Callis is like, we're going to Impact. Like, that was such a moment. And then having it all unfold as 2021 went along, it was really outstanding to watch.
I can agree. You know, part of me wanted my nominee to win, but this is the correct choice. This is definitely the correct choice. I think what Kenny was able to do, again, it goes back to the injuries that he was dealing with. He was able to do all of this throughout the year. I guess the only thing we could have asked for more of was him doing something in New Japan. That would have been the icing on the cake, but he could save that for another time.
Yeah.
Just an incredible year for Kenny.
Yeah, incredible year for Kenny Omega. Obviously, I think goes without saying him being the wrestler of the year is totally feasible and up there. Being the Belt Collector is in part to that. So congratulations to Kenny Omega and AEW and Impact and AAA. Everyone in that sort of sphere of belt collecting. I mean, what more? I mean, sure, Tony Khan may be the Forbidden Door himself, as he likes to say. But you didn't feel more obvious who the actual Forbidden Door was than Kenny Omega, as he seemed to be one of the only people that want to do, and also achieving his vision and what he felt. Apparently, that Kenny Omega felt that wrestling should be this cross pollination of pro wrestling stars, not just people staying in their own promotion, not seeing the light of day, but rather working with other companies. So good job on Kenny doing that. It definitely changed wrestling in 2021. and let's see if it stays in 2022.
I have high hopes.
Yes, me too. But before we move on, Scotty, I do want to talk about your nomination. And yes, it was Scotty's. I'll unveil it. It was Scotty's nomination that voted for Forbidden Award for Best Forbidden Door Moment. He nominated. I don't know. Was it you nominating?
Oh, I nominated.
What are you talking of? What are you thinking of?
AEW leaving Impact in the dust.
Oh, sorry. I'm confusing. You nominated that one. I believe this might have been Michael that nominated this one. And it was TK making fun of WWE for the New Japan partnership.
I had a fear this was going to win.
Your nomination got second to last place, right above Good Brothers in the Elite.
That's fair. Okay, that's a win.
I'll take that win. TK,
that was mostly because I couldn't think of anything.
That's fair. TK making fun of WWE got fourth place. It was a 3-point difference between fourth and third place. Literally, if like one person voted, it would have maybe won. It would have gotten a placement. I saw that, and I think I voted that as my third place vote. Yeah, I voted that for third place for me. It was one of my favorite moments in the years. TK making fun of WWE.
I love that.
What a moment! What a moment!
That was a big yawn.
Well, yeah. Well, it's almost done with the show, Scotty. Of course, we only have one category left. And that one category, of course, is our match of the year for a major promotion. Any promotion of a major category can be nominated here. WWE, AEW, New Japan. Eventually Stardom probably next year.
Damn right. They won everything else.
But who will be the match of the year? There are many. I believe we had 8 nominations this year, so another small category, but a diverse category. So let us talk about, Scotty.
Oh, can't wait to see Ryan get riled up.
Let's talk about who is the match.
Because I know what Ryan's number 1 is.
What is my number 1? Oh yeah, I do know what my number 1 is. You want to go 8 to first?
Yeah, I think we should get all of them in here.
All right.
Because I watched all of them, I think.
Do you want the how many points they got to?
Yes.
To get the real disparity. With 1 point was the Lucha Brothers versus Vikingo and Laredo Kid.
Oh, I would have lost my mind if you said versus the Young Bucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I'm pretty sure I voted that. Never mind.
Yeah.
I remember watching it, but I don't remember it being my match. It was a great tag team match because a lot happened. Here's the thing with Lucha matches.
Mm-hmm.
So much happens that like it's really hard to remember the whole thing because they do so much. I remember it being incredible. You know, Vikingo's in there. You have Lucha Brothers. Who was the other person?
Laredo Kid.
Who's also great.
Yes.
It's a great match. I understand why I finished in 8th. I do. Because if I'm remembering everything else correctly, it makes sense. But still a very good match.
At number 7 in the match of the year is in AEW with 7 points. It is Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega at AEW Grand Slam.
I mean, that's a great 30-minute draw. It's like one of the best 30-minute draws you'll see, I think, in my opinion. And they managed to do it on TV, and they only put 1 commercial in it. If there's more than 1 commercial, I don't think that match even touches this nomination.
No,
I think that's where I'm at. So I'm happy that it got. I'm happy it got a couple of votes because it was a great match. It was a great match. I think it was Kenny Omega's best match of the year.
I'm sort of surprised of how low it is.
I can agree.
I would have suspected that to be way higher.
I honestly thought it had a chance to get in the top 3.
Me too, honestly. But
I was expecting 3rd place for it.
But no, it only got in
I didn't vote for it, but I was
seventh
expecting third place.
What did I vote for? Who did I vote for? Where's my awards? Who am I?
Can you tell me if I voted for it? I'm remembering. Oh no, I didn't vote for it.
Let's see.
I remember
You did not vote for it, nor did I. We did not vote for it.
Well, I guess that's our fault for expecting it to be higher.
Well, what I did vote for, and coming at number 6, is Jay White versus Kota Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP World Heavyweight and Intercontinental titles.
I made sure to rewatch this match before I voted.
Yes.
That's how determined I was to give correct voting.
And to be clear, this match got 8 points. Go ahead, Scotty.
This is your match of the year. Yeah. I know that. Yeah. It's a great match. It is a great match. It is very unique from every other match on this card. Or this card. We're not booking a wrestling show here.
Well, what a wrestling show this would be.
That is true. But it is a great match because I remember the first time I watched it through, I watched it live like an idiot. And I did not remember it. And it doesn't help. It happened, almost a year ago today. But I rewatched it, and the work that Jay White is able to do in his matches is fantastic. I know some people find him boring. Some people don't love him. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of those people just like the current style of wrestling at its soul. He's a very old school in his style. And I think the way him and Kota worked in that match, I understand why it was nominated. Great match. And I should let you talk about it since it's your match of the year.
Yeah, everything you sort of touched on is what I agree with, is that it was something different. And what was also great about it was something different in the sense of, of the other matches that were out in the Wrestle Kingdom sort of double gold dash situation that was happening there. But also and I can maybe argue the reason why it is so low on this list is because of the follow-up, but the intriguingness of what Jay White was doing. Jay White is the guy that shined so much in this match. Seeing a man just desperately clinging to nothing and just trying to be like, and just like looking to Gato like a father, asking him, what do I do now? I've done everything. What more can I do? And Gato's like, try this. And he's like, sure. Like you don't regularly see Jay White in that position where he is at a loss for moves. But seeing him have that moment, have that sort of what's the word?
Desperation,
insecurity.
That's a good one.
Having that moment, and then Kota Ibushi just like the unwavering. This was the. Obviously he won the World Heavyweight Championship the night previous, but this became that sort of godlike Ibushi moment and helped cement that as well. And of course, like I said, the follow-up to all of it wasn't that great for very obvious reasons with injuries and COVID and all that stuff. And I can maybe argue that's probably why it's so low.
I thought this match was a complaint.
What? Give me a complaint. Hit me.
They changed the title.
Yeah, I think that's also another reason people didn't like this match. Is because it started all that. Well, it didn't really start all that nonsense. You can argue the Naito match last year or the year prior started all that, but definitely didn't help when they then changed the title and did all this stuff. It did not spark greatness for 2021 in New Japan.
Great match, though.
Great match. Moving right along, of course, we got 2 matches tied for 4th place. 2 matches tied for 4th place, both earning 13 points here. The first one to talk about here is Brit Baker versus Thunderosa in that unsanctioned match at St. Patrick's Day Slam in AEW.
That was one of the more brutal, in a good way, matches I saw all year. Like, brutal as in what they went through was insane. They, destroyed each other. They told the story of, I hate you, you hate me. Let's just try to kill each other. Very simple story, and they delivered. It's the best match of probably either one's career. I almost just said Brit Baker, but truthfully, it's probably the best of Thunderosa's too, off the top of my head. It's a great match. I'm not going to call it, it's not, the last match we just talked about, and this one, very, very different in the way they were crafted. That one before was a very story-based, classic pro wrestling match, very, kind of Bret Hart-esque in a sense, very classic and very, to the, down to the nitty gritty or whatever.
Minutia.
Yes. Brit Baker versus Thunderosa, it's all about the physicality. It's all about the rivalry. Mm-hmm. And I guess that one was too. And I guess that's the only thing that's similar about them is that the opponents did not like each other and they brought it out in different ways. And I thought this match was really good. I think the only reason I don't have it in my match of the year contenders is maybe there wasn't as much stakes on the line. That does affect me when I watch matches sometimes. Mm-hmm. If there's no stakes, it's hard to fully embrace. And that's how good they had a match, that someone was nominating this and it finished in 4th place.
Yeah, I think there is something to wrestling that is lost, as I realized firsthand watching day one last night. There is not a lot of urgency in modern day wrestling. There's not a lot of just desire to beat up another person. And Brit Baker versus Thunderosa exemplified that. No other than in any other match that is on this list. That match, you felt the tension, felt the heat with each other. You felt just the brutality with Brit Baker and Thunderosa putting on outstanding work. It was just like a match that not many people were expecting to see, but once they saw it, it was just must see. It was such a great match.
I remember that match was recorded. It was taped. I remember that because someone said, I'm not going to spoil it because it was that good.
Yeah.
Like whoever released the spoilers, like you just have to watch it and figure it out. And it was worth, not getting spoiled for, because, all of us say we hate spoilers and then we read them anyways. But it was a great match.
Also tied for 4th place is Kenny Omega versus Adam Page at Full Gear for the AEW World Title.
I have a take.
Oh,
I think this match is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of the reason so many people hold it up on a platter is more because of the moment than the match itself. Does that make sense?
I would agree, and the evidence I could back that up with is that this match received the most 3rd place votes. So not many people were saying that it was their best match of the year, but this is just my suspicion that people are like, but it deserves to be voted on because of the moment it created.
And I think that's fair. We've seen that in history. We've seen moments make even, this isn't a bad match, it's a good match. Yeah. But even like bad matches, good matches. We've seen moments do that. And this was a really good match that had the moment everyone was waiting for. And I think that's why so many people either rated it high or talk so highly of it. Mm-hmm. It's a really good match. If you look at just without the moment, it's really good, but it's not match of the year for me. But I understand why people voted for it. I think you made a great point with why it deserves a spot, even if I'm not giving it, number 1.
Yeah, exactly. Great match, but let's keep the party rolling because now we're entering the top 3 match of the year for a major promotion. Number 3, coming all the way from New Japan Pro Wrestling, it is Shingo Takagi versus Will Osprey for the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion at Wrestling Dontaku Night 2.
I rewatched this. I did 2 rewatches. I did Dakota and Jay White, and I did this one. And this one jumped from nowhere in my top 3 for men, for major promotion matches to my number 3. Kevin Kelly calls it after the match the greatest wrestling match he's ever called. Kevin Kelly, I'm not going to say you're wrong because that's your opinion, but you've called some really incredible matches.
Yeah.
you've called all of Okada and Omega. You've called, endless. But this is a great match. You get two guys that understand each other, that get each other, and Shingo and Osprey. They have two great matches in two different divisions to their name. They have the junior one, which I think is better, and they have this one, which is great.
Yeah.
And it's deserving of number 3. This was my number 3, so I'm on par. Oh my god, I think all my top 3 are still alive. Well,
yes.
Yeah, they have to be because we haven't said them all.
That is true. Number 3, of course, Shingo Takagi Will Ospreay. Outstanding match. I saw gifs of it floating around, I think yesterday. So still percolating in people's minds. Just an outstanding match between these two competitors. And you also can really show like why they deserve to be some of the best wrestlers in the world. I mean, they were easily the 2 best wrestlers last year. So just outstanding work for New Japan. So just outstanding work for both Shingo and Osprey to get to this spot.
Good job, Bill.
Good job, Bill Takagi. Bill Takagi. Moving right along to second place, we have Valtter versus Ilia Draganov at NXT Takeover for the NXT UK title.
This match was so great.
This match is so great, and I'm going to point it out here right now. This match also, well, not this exact match, obviously, but the match that they had the year prior in 2020 also received the second place award in the Countout Year End Awards. They had the same match. These same guys had the same match back-to-back years and both walked away with second place trophies.
I think it definitely helps that a lot more people see this match opposed to others, but it belongs on this list. Like that's how phenomenal it was. I think this was my second place vote for major promotion.
It was.
I think, yeah. They destroyed each other. And Walter's a dude that if you compare him to anyone else in WWE, it's like non-comparable.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about yesterday, after Brock walked away with the title, which is a whole other discussion point. Imagine Brock versus Walter. Well, Brock would have such a great time because he's a guy that actually would hit him back. And Draganov was so great in this. He had the heart of a champion. You want to talk about moments? This ended up being a great moment when he won. It's just phenomenal. I think I wrote in one of my things that I wrote about this, the last great NXT match of the Black and Gold era.
Yeah. Yeah, easily last great of the Black and Gold era. And the only WWE match that was nominated this year. An outstanding match between Walter and Ilia Dragunov. I preferred their first one, but this second one was just as good. This match was outstanding. Whereas the first one showcased just the brutality of Walter, this match showcased the heart of a champion, like you said. Showcasing Ilia Dragunov and just what kind of person he is. And just I'm so happy to get that in front of a crowd too, as small as the crowd it may be in not Full Sail, and the CWC or whatever. But it's just outstanding to watch this match between Walter and Ilia Dragunov. It is just like it. I think this was a match that got me standing and pacing. I mean, this is my second best match of the year behind White and Ibushi. This was one of my favorite matches of the year as well. Is standing and pacing, and I've come to this realization that if it's standing and pacing, it's more than likely a 5-star match. And I've done that recently with a lot of different matches. So just an outstanding match, and congratulations for those two getting the same match 2 years in a row. So congratulations. But of course, there's only one match left. It's a little anticlimactic because it's the only match left to be nominated. And that is, of course, going to be for the match of the year for the Countout Year End 2021.
In major promotions.
It is, of course, the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers in a steel cage match at AEW All Out.
Interesting. Both of my number ones won. Huh.
It looks like this guy knows what he's talking about.
I might. And the reason I love this match, besides, the absurdness of these two teams and what they're able to do, athletically and whatnot, is that there was actually story in this. And this is when I think about a Young Bucks match and how people critique a lot of what they do. And, they can't tell stories. There was a story here. And I think, one moment you'll always remember is Penta going in front of his younger brother Phoenix to save him.
Mm-hmm.
And he ultimately pays the price for it, but he went in front of him to save him. It's brutal. It's wonderful. It's crazy. It's just so good. It's so good. And it's in a steel cage, which I usually hate steel cage matches. So when you're able to make me forget that you're in the steel cage and you're just able to have an incredible match and use the steel cage when you need to, instead of just forcefully using it for moments,
Yeah.
Like people like to do. We have, I believe Phoenix jumped off of it, but
Yep.
that was a guarantee. Come on now.
Yeah, no, this match was outstanding. Just so much history between these two wrestlers, so much willingness to put bodies on the line, but not just for the sake of pops, but for the sake of history, for the sake of moments, doing things like doing the whole bit with the shoes and then having the studded shoe super kick them in the face, Lucha Brothers in the face. Just oh my god, just an outstanding match. I didn't vote this match as one of my top 3.
Wow. Tells you who's the right host and who's the wrong one.
Hey, at least I voted a women's match as match of the year in a major promotion. Scotty, get canceled.
I voted almost
canceled.
Buddy, I voted for minor. Leave me alone.
Buddy.
If you look at my top 10 this year, I think half are women's matches at least.
That's probably true.
So fight me. Actually, it's more than half. So fight me.
That's probably
fight
true.
me.
Oh, I'm not going to, but that's probably
no.
true.
I don't know why you would. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, that would be a bad dynamic for the show.
I think it's because we're 9:00 on a Sunday, and I think we're getting.
And I've had a glass of wine.
yes, you have, and I am here.
Interesting.
I worked all day, and then I did this.
Yeah, well, no, this was I think it was still an outstanding show, an outstanding match to be had with Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers. Young Bucks received the most first place votes, and I also want to point out that they also was in part the best match of last year with Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Adam Page, and they're also tag team of the year. So it was very much a year for the Young Bucks. Interested to see how they do next year, because AEW really does a lot of things that it feels very obvious who was the best of the year. Last year being the Young Bucks, or last year being Omega Page, this year being Young Bucks, last year being Jon Moxley, this year being Kenny Omega. So it really feels like there's a lot to look forward to. Scotty's undressing, folks. He's taken off the tie.
The tie is off. The award show's over.
The award show is over.
Now it's time for the part I'm here for.
The pot I'm here for. The
my crowning.
Do you want to do a little bit of the preamble then for your crowning ceremony, sir?
So, ladies and gentlemen, there was some point in the year where I, was just doing my match ratings, minding my own business, having myself a time. First time ever, I'm taking all these match ratings down, right?
Yeah.
And, someone from Countout Pod, reaches out to me and says, hello, and yada, yada, yada. We get to a point where we start a match race. Do you know who that someone was, Ryan?
Was it Zach Batista?
No, it was actually you.
Whoa.
I feel like that was a layup, actually. That's weird that you got that wrong.
I'm drunk, man. I had a whole glass of wine.
This is true. And we created this match race. It was a really fun time. Kind of made me go insane once in a while, but it was a really fun time. I had to watch AEW Dark for this, and I don't want to watch AEW Dark anymore. I don't.
Now you don't have to. The match race is over.
I don't. I'm never going to touch it again, probably. But this was how pretty much this podcast came to be, was the match race. This is how it all started. This is how Ring Post Radio was born, out of the womb of the match race.
Interesting.
Well, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
No, I just had to get anyways. But it was a really fun year. I have no idea how many total matches we both watched because Ryan's the stats guy. I'm just the person here. And it was all for charity. That was the beauty of it. It was all for charity. In the end, someone would donate a certain amount to charity of the choice. And I will let Ryan take it away.
All right. So I didn't have time to put everything together, but I have all the stats together, but I have the totals.
That's literally the only stat I need.
That's fair. So I watched in total 2021. And to be clear, when we say match race, let me see if I can remember the charities that we were doing this for. Let's go to count out and go to count out and go to match race. So we were, of course, doing this for charity. I was quote unquote racing for I was racing for the Atlanta Children's Shelter Foundation, and Sky was racing for the JED Foundation, to outstanding charities. So please go, be a part of those charities and donate today. But the whole idea was that whoever would watch least amount of matches would be able to donate to those charities on their behalf. I watched 2,681 2021 matches. So
you deserve a clap. That's a lot of matches.
I appreciate it. You also know me. I'm an insane person. So in 20 and to be clear, when we say match race, it was only matches that came out in 2021. It wasn't like anything else. It was just that. So of 2021 matches, I watched 2,600. In 2020, I watched 1,400.
Oh my.
I watched 800 roughly, right? 800 roughly more matches.
Wait a minute. You were 2,600, you watched 1,400?
Oh, yeah. So 1,200, right?
Yeah.
Nearly doubled. Nearly doubled. I watched, also because I'm an insane person, I have the total time from all of the matches seen.
That sounds terrible.
in 2020, I spent in totality 10 days, 8 hours, 1 minute, and 7 seconds roughly watching wrestling. In 2021, I watched, as I scroll up to look, it's at the top already, 18 days, 16 hours, 34 minutes, and 8 seconds roughly was spent to watching professional wrestling.
And every match was great, right, Ryan?
Every match was a 5-star match, completely worth every single match I watched. What was nice about this is it forced me to watch a lot more wrestling.
Yeah.
To try to keep up with you.
Oh, definitely forced me.
Speaking about keeping up to you, let's talk about yours real quick before we get to the finale of it all. Scotty, you watched 3,106 wrestling matches in 2021.
You know what's funny about all this?
What is that?
I have talked to a lot of people that probably have still somehow watched more wrestling than me this year.
Yeah.
Which is very possible, very fair. My whole thing is I don't watch full shows. I can't get myself to watch a New Japan tag that happens before Osprey versus Shingo. I can't get myself to do it. I'm just not going to waste my time doing that.
Yeah.
And this match race did not inspire me to do that. I was like, I'm going to have to watch full shows. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not. I'll just find matches I want to watch or wrestlers I want to watch. That happened a lot where I just had to find a wrestler that I enjoy watching and I'll watch their match, even if I have limited interest. And what you get out of it is just a lot of great matches from all around the world.
Yeah.
I never watched a Pro Wrestling Noah match before last year. Now, I won't miss a major Pro Wrestling Noah show. I finally got into Dragon Gate last year. That's going to be my new promotion for this year. Stardom helped me lead the way, though. I watched every single Stardom match from last year.
Yeah, it definitely helped you.
Joshi helped me overall, but it was a really fun time. I mean, when you say those numbers out loud, it makes me want to cry a little. But
that's
this
fair.
year,
that's fair.
I probably won't come close because I'm going to pick and choose a lot more. I was on a pace for a lot higher before, I had to start working and whatnot. That's really where I took the lead on Ryan, because I had like a solid 3-month run from graduation on where I just had nothing to do.
Can I do that? Hold on. I can probably do that. Let me do this real quick. Boop. Oh, there we go. Are we still live, folks?
Oh, look at that.
Get this over here.
Look at that.
Oh wait. The stream isn't. I fucked up. The stream's not doing it. If I move it to here, maybe. Move it to here. Yeah. What can you see?
I see a white line down the screen.
Okay, maybe this didn't quite work. Here we go.
If you want to go back to screen sharing so I can at least see what you're talking about, that would also work. Yeah, that's good.
There we go. Beautiful.
Wow, this is interesting.
I kept this during the year.
I like the breakdowns.
Yeah. I didn't finish doing the promotion stuff, but so yeah, this is the graph here of number of matches seen per month. It's not fully updated because obviously, you and I watched in December we watched like a couple November matches or whatever. I wasn't able to update that before we started recording, but the vague concept of what we had here, number of matches seen per month. Obviously, I'm the blue, Scotty's the red. You can also see when Scotty graduated college, and I think that's a big factor of this whole thing. Is exactly when Scotty graduated college, and it's somewhere. Let me get us on the screen here. Somewhere around this May, June area.
Yeah.
When Scotty's like, oh, I've got a lot of free time on my hands.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I watched 133 more matches than you in May.
I don't know what happened to me in the summer where I just felt like I was still working up until July. On my
August,
show.
you popped off.
August is when I was free. When I was not working, and then I went back.
Tough
to
for
work.
you that I still had my highest month the same month.
I know. You don't have no idea how frustrated I was about that.
You beat me the last. Nope. December, we just kind of both stopped dramatically.
I think in December, part of that is I realized there's no freaking way I'm going to catch up to Scott.
Halfway through December, you told me I won, so I was like, "Oh, okay,
great." And you can also, that also goes to show of how determined we were during this, and how frustrated I was because I was it was I was doing fairly well. What was this, April? Let's see.
Really tied game time. Yeah, we were close.
In April, you were ahead of me by 40 matches. I was like, that's doable. That is doable. And then and then you started creeping up.
The June change is ridiculous.
967 to 1273 at the end of June. That is an insane number that you popped off.
What even happened in June?
That's a great question. Yeah, no. So that is what we got. Obviously, this is a graph total number of matches seen at the end of every month. Very close down in the April quadrant here, and then you kind of, for lack of a better, June popped off and just exploded out. June, July, I was super under my average, and then October, November, I was able to get above the average and close the gap a little bit, but not enough, obviously.
Amazing.
There was a certain point where I was never going to catch you. If you got a little bit busy earlier, or you took a little bit of break in May or something, maybe I could have gotten closer. I tried to get up there. I just couldn't. If I didn't, I don't know what, again, don't know what happened May, June, July. I just fell apart in terms of watching wrestling. But August
is
really
crazy because summertime's when I bloomed.
You bloomed. May to September, arguably October, you bloomed.
I watched 8.5 matches per day.
Is that true?
That was my average.
Oh, of what? 3,000 divided by 365. What was mine?
Let me tell you.
I'm terrified. 2681 divided by 365.
If you do that in your head,
I'm a
7.345.
7 matches, roughly 7.5 matches a day.
So I pretty much just watched one more match than you per day.
Well, that adds up.
That'll do it.
That adds up. Number of promotions. This is also a fun stat I wanted to watch.
Holy mother!
Number of different promotions seen per month. Scotty watched. You had way more variety in your number of promotions.
Yeah, I watched 23 different promotions in June. I don't think in January I knew of 23 different promotions.
Yeah, I didn't write down what they were, but yeah, June also goes to show like how much you like popped off in June. June was your month. Very obviously, June was your month because you just watched so much different wrestling in June.
I did.
So
it was a fun time. We had a good time. I mean, I don't know if Ryan did. I did. But that's did. Probably because I won. But no, like I watched so much wrestling through this that now, like when I sit here and I watch matches, I'm watching things from promotions I never would have a year ago. Never even would have thought of it. Now I'm going out of my way to find them, and tells you all you need to know about how great wrestling can be everywhere. It's not all about WWE, ladies and gentlemen. It's not all about AEW. There's great wrestling, great wrestlers everywhere throughout the world. You just got to try and find it.
Yeah, and I think that's also what helped me do the same thing. It helped me watch a lot more wrestling, but also helped me discover way more wrestlers.
I also didn't give you my source until about the time you started popping off. Interesting. That probably helped.
Who knows? Anyways, but it helped me discover a lot more wrestling, and it helped me discover a lot of different wrestlers that I wouldn't have been able to watch previously or had interest in watching previously. And now I know about a bunch of new people, and I am fans of a bunch of new people. I helped discover Stardom this year. We talk about like New Year's resolutions to a certain extent when it comes to like promotions. I want to get more into Noah. I watched a little bit of Noah this year, but I wanted to get more into it. I watched a little bit of Dragon Gate this year, but I want to get more into it. These sort of promotions I was always intrigued by, and I think I want to try to make more of a conceited effort. Scotty, were there any promotions that you were planned to drop off on? A New Year resolution?
I actually said this like halfway through the year. AJPW, goodbye. See you later. All Japan Pro Wrestling, bye. I'll watch like a hit match here or there.
You said that I think during the like their climax thing, right?
It wasn't during Champion Carnival. It was during one of their climax things, though, where I was just like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Goodbye. See you later. No thanks. So that's definitely dropped. I wasn't ready for this question because it's very funny to me. If you have any, you can go. Let me just look it through real quick.
I think I'm officially. It's tough, but I think I may be officially dropping NXT.
That's fair. I didn't think about that. Me too.
I haven't fully conceded on it. But like I am considering, just dropping the goddamn promotion, because I started to enjoy a little bit of NXT Black and Gold. You know, there was elements that were still crappy. It wasn't as good as AEW, blah, blah, blah. But there was still stuff that was intriguing me. I enjoyed the Ciampa Thatcher team. I enjoyed the Grizzled Young Vets. I enjoyed, what was the other tag team? Legado del Fantasma. The tag team scene was very good and very fun to watch. But then Adam Cole was still there, and Kyle O'Reilly was still there. And then it just didn't quite end the same way it started. So I'm considering just full out dropping NXT 2.0.
Impact has me in contention, but I have to watch it for this. So I'll watch pay-per-views
this Saturday.
I'll watch pay-per-views. That's it. I guess I have to drop Ring of Honor.
I really enjoyed Ring of Honor. I'm gonna miss watching their shows.
MLW could be in contention by mid-year. I'll give them till mid-year. Mm-hmm. But some of the things they do is just bad. Before I guess we get off and yada yada yada, what are the give me 3 promotions you want to watch more? I know you kind of hinted upon it, but give more concrete.
Noah, definitely. Noah, I want to watch more of.
Bunch of old big guys slapping meats. What else? What else do you need?
Big meaty men slapping meat. I want to watch more of Dragon Gate as well. I've always heard great things coming out of Dragon Gate. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued by Shun Skywalker.
He's so good.
Yeah, so I want to watch more of him.
Want to get gleated?
So when I was looking up, we used to do like articles for this, and then it sort of evolved into Ring Post Radio. But the last thing ever written on our article for the match race is me typing out "get gleated."
And then we never talked about Gleat again on the podcast.
Never did. We talked about Gleat once, never again. By the way, I just donated money to the JED Foundation on behalf of the match race, on behalf of
Thank you, Ryan.
I donated $50 to the JED Foundation. I believe that was way more than what we originally agreed upon, but I got a pay raise.
Couldn't tell you what we did agree.
I believe, it was like $15 or something, maybe. But I had a pay raise during the middle of the year, so I have a little more spending money and also going to charity. So
Ryan, what I'm going to do is I'm going to half that and send it to yours. Well, no, because like I won, so I can't pay the same. Or then we defeat the entire purpose of our entire
That's
year.
Fair. Well, I appreciate it. Yes, definitely.
Well, I'm going to half that. And I think this was a lot of fun. We have to think of a new competition. I have no idea what, but we got to think of a new competition.
Yeah,
not this.
that's for next week's show. To figure out. But speaking of next week's show, we'll be back next week. It'd be interesting. I think also what I'm very excited about now that the match race is over is
happiness.
Happiness. 2, is that we will be able to watch more of whatever we want and be able to watch more things that are like, oh, let's spend more time, watching Noah or anything else. We'll be able to cover Noah more on this show as well.
Yeah.
But 3, what I'm most excited about is being able to watch older things.
Oh, me too, dude. Oh, I have an entire archive match guide.
Yeah.
With matches that I wanted to watch this year.
Yeah.
And instead of watching them, I just put them in there. I was like, the new year.
Yeah. I am so excited to watch old wrestling matches. You have no idea. And that's also part of it. In December, I started just watching old wrestling matches. I said, screw it. I was following the Secret Santa for Voices of Wrestling. So I was just like, screw it. I'm watching this stuff.
How did you like those?
I watched some of them and then I stopped watching it because I came home for the holidays and just all that stuff.
Yeah, holidays slow you down.
I think the last one I watched was Bret Hart versus PCO or whatever his name was. Bret Hart versus PCO, whatever his name was.
Oh, before he was PCO.
Yeah, when they're fighting over the jacket.
You just gave me a heart attack.
Bret Hart's still wrestling.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, I know Bret Hart can't wrestle anymore, but Oh.
But yes, great year, Scotty. I'm so glad that we have started this podcast together this year. I'm so glad
I am too.
the match race is over and we can continue doing the show with peace of mind, knowing that I am not going to be able to destroy you unless I do, in which case.
Well, yeah, maybe we're going to think of a new something, because it keeps it more fun.
A GLEAT match race. Whoever can watch the most GLEAT in 2022.
Oh, please don't do that to me.
Hey, Scotty, it wouldn't be an end of episode if I didn't tell you to get GLEATed.
This is the first time you've probably said it. So never mind.
Goodbye, everybody.
It was a good run.
It was a good run. Good run for the show. Yeah. Good run. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you next week with more Ring Post Radio.